Love, want to be careful. Peace to my human family. Tap in with the live. It's Prolific-Abdullah. I'm here to give y'all some gems, man. Today we're gonna talk about the conscious community. And the thing about the conscious community, man, they've done great work. And they've done work that helped black people for a specific amount of time, at a certain amount of time, where we were dealing with oppression from these European systems, right? The enslavement of Africa, and those ideas continue to embody and manifest into like redlining, into racism, into, you know, lack of capital, access to capital. But what I really want to talk about is the ideas that they have developed no longer serves us anymore. And the reason being is because we're in a new era, right? We're in a new time. And with this new time, within this new time, we have to develop new concepts. We have to develop new blueprints and structures. If not, it's old, out with the old, in with the new. If the black conscious community does not progress their ideologies, they won't be effective, nor will they be relevant sooner or later. And again, their ideals were very much helpful at the time that black people were dealing with, because we have to understand that we cannot keep believing that the white man is the devil, that the white man is the enemy. We have to understand that the white man is God's creation. God created the white man because he's human, right? We've developed these ideologies to say that he's not human, that he comes from a certain genome, right? That people are going to scientific extent to prove that he's inhumane. And that process in itself is inhumane. That's how genocide starts, bro. To look at every reason of why this type of human is not human. And the white, Caucasian, male, and female is part of the human family. Any idea against that is corrupt and is impure. And what it does is promote superiority. Anything that promotes superiority over one human being over the other is oppression, is unrealistic, and it's not reality. It's not reality. You're not operating off truth, right? What I really want to get at is that, if we go into the history of the black conscious community, right, and we understand that the reason they were able to be so successful is because they were able to help black people claim their identity, right? Black people have been in an inferior position for so long that they had to go to the other side, and people start calling themselves gods, right? When you call yourself a god, you're trying to say you're above a human, essentially. That may not be your intent, but this is the language that you're using. Right? And I understand some people say, like, to be a god has nothing to do with being a creator or the creator of the world, but it has to do with the inner power. I understand that language, but I necessarily wouldn't really use that language, because what the kind of problems it causes, right? What I really want to hint at is that the white man is not the enemy. It is the ideas that are corrupting and eroding us. Right? It is the ideas that we need to really contemplate and think about. See, in Islam, we ask Allah to guide us on the straight path. To be guided on the straight path, right? Ahidna sarat al-mustaqim. We do not want to go left. We don't want ahidna sarat al-mustaqim, sarat al-ladhin an'amta alayhim khayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. We also ask Allah to not take us, to make sure that we don't go astray. So the ideas that we embody, we want to make sure we don't go extreme into these ideologies. right? An example of some of the extreme ideologies that we deal with is that we say men versus women, right? Men are better than women. Women are better than men. These ideas are corrupt and it's dividing the human family. That is a trick question. Men is not better than women. Woman is not better than men. We are equal in the eyes of God. We are equal in the eyes of God, and we need each other in order for this life to exist. I am nothing without a male and woman coming together. You are nothing without a male and a woman coming together. So any ideas that trying to put the woman down or try to put the male down, it's invalid. It's very corrupted, right? And we need to learn how to attack the ideologies. We need to learn how to attack the ideologies and not the human, right? The white man is not the enemy. The males are not the enemy. The females are not the enemy. It is the ideas that we are embodying. What are the ideas we are embodying? And this is why we have to ask God for guidance. We need to ask Allah for guidance to put us on the straight path. When he puts us on the straight path, we don't allow these ideas to take us left or take us too far right. We're human. We have to learn how to become human, not gods. We are not gods. We are human, right? Yes, there was a European enslavement system that was upon corruption, that was upon exploitations, but these systems were created by ideas. And these ideas enslave minds before bodies, before systems enslave bodies, right? The ink of a scholar, Allah had us enslaved. Two Arabs did the same. Allah helped us enslave two. I don't know what you mean by. Because a man is responsible for a woman. As a male, you have to protect and provide for the woman. So you, as a male, need to get more of the money. I don't know how that's a hard question. You know, you're responsible for the woman. Are you not? Do you not think you're responsible for the woman? Yes, spiritually. Spiritually. And also one has different responsibilities. See, people need to know how to speak in realities. I don't think people understand realities and truth and the degrees of truth of how one idea goes into another idea and how one idea doesn't go into another idea. I don't think people are able to intellectually think about that. Because these questions, they may be genuine, but it shows that your mind has not been marinated, right? You need to marinate your mind, right? Males are responsible for the woman. We need to take care of our woman. If we're not taking care of our woman, who's gonna take care of her? You ain't gonna take care of your woman? That's cowardness. As a male who has a daughter, you want somebody else to marry your daughter off and have the mindset that, oh, I shouldn't take care of this woman. That's coward. And that's weakness. That's weak. We don't need weak men. We need men that can embody responsibility, because that's what God gave you. God gave you responsibility. God gave you responsibility. You know? But nonetheless, I'm going to get back to the point, because my imam taught me that people, when they don't have things to do, they bother other people. That's what the devil does. He attempts to keep you off your mission. He attempts to keep you off your mission. So I'm going to stay on the mission. We understand that ideas are developed because black people were forced into inferiority. So they went and moved into the pendulum swing of, oh, we're gods. And this is understandable of why they went to this extreme. But the problem with this extreme is that now that you think you're above the white person, in reality, we the same. In reality, we the same. In the conscious community, another thing we really got to talk about is knowledge of self. What is knowledge of self? A lot of us think knowledge of self means to go back to Africa and understand what the Egyptians built. That was cool. That was cool for that time. It was crucial for that time because A lot of them forgot where they came from. They did come from that. It's not that it's not true, but we need to expand the concept of knowledge itself. See, this is why we got to advance our sciences, because when you can advance thought, what you do is advance people's behaviors. If you can influence thought, you can influence behaviors. So if you can understand knowledge itself to its fullest extent, we can embody knowledge itself to its fullest extent. But what is knowledge itself? Right? What is knowledge itself? Knowledge itself is to know your creator. It's to know God. Because when you know God, if you know the thing that created you, you know your position and your rights in this universe. You know how you're supposed to function upon this universe. And you understand the responsibility that you must embody on this earth. Right? And without that, you're not completely, awareness is incomplete. See, there's a psychological change when you understand that you have a creator. When you understand that you have a creator, it's like understanding that your boss is watching you. When your boss is watching you, you do your work. You do your work in a much effective, efficient, and a better manner. And this is how God created us. He created us to recognize authority, right? And we need to recognize that He has authority of this world, and He is our creator. And when we can recognize that, we then can be true conscious beings. When we recognize that, we can then walk this earth with an understanding that, oh, we need to make sure that we're following the rights of Allah. That when I talk to my sister, I got to talk with a certain type of consciousness, a certain type of tone. Same thing with my mother or my father, or same thing with my neighbors, right? With the community, right? Or with the work I do. If I go into politics, if I go into business, if I go into the gym, if I go into music, whatever industry I go into, I must not leave God out the equation. If I leave God out the equation, that's when I lose. This is when I lose awareness. See, Adam and Eve bit the apple because they lost consciousness of God at that moment. God commanded them not to eat the apple. They were forbidden to eat the apple, but they ate the apple. They lost their taqwa. They lost their taqwa. Right? Again, the ink of a scholar is more sacred than the blood of a martyr. Hey, right? If we start to attack these ideas that are corrupting us, we then get to preserve the truth in that process. We can see what's left and what's right. We can see what's up and what's down. And what we ask for is the middle. We need to be in the middle ground, right? And to be middle ground, your ideas need to apply universally. If your ideas are not applied universally, or they cannot be applied universally, they might not be complete. That's what I'm going to say. They might not be complete, because ideas that can be applied universally means that it can be applied all the time, every time, no matter the time. All the time, every time, no matter the time. For all people. Right? The thing about truth is that the principles remain the same. But the way they may be expressed may be different. Right? I'm expressing patience, you're expressing patience, but we're in two different circumstances where we got to express patience. I may be expressing patience through my students. You may be expressing patience through the kid that you're holding. Two different situations, same principle. Right? And this is the hurdle we got to go over. If our ideas cannot include all of humanity, they're not truth. They become just ideologies, right? When we incorporate all people, our ideas evolve with the times, bro. It evolves with the times, right? So we got to stop attacking the people, and we got to attack the ideas. And this is where we have to start getting into intellectual conversations. This is where we got to start establishing what's true, what's not true. See, truth is already a thing. What we need to learn how to do is to develop tools to help us extract the truth. When we learn how to extract the truth and we see it for what it is, we then have the opportunity to embody it. Truth is already a reality. But what we want to do is to embody that reality. Right? God gives you free will. He is the reality. He gives you free will. But within your free will, you get to choose to be delusional or you get to choose to operate on truth. We want to choose to operate on truth and to project that into our life. When we can do that, we can be better. We can improve. When we do that, we'll be living the life that he intended for us. Right? Anybody that's here, where y'all from, man? In the old times, but they should have it free to do what men to do. I don't know. Yeah, they take care of the house kids. Yeah. I think you wasting too much time over here, my brother. Anybody that comes to waste time, man, it's a waste of your energy, bro. It's a waste of your energy, man. The devil's mission is to take you off the mission. The devil's mission is to take you off the mission. How so? We got an outdated conscience. And this outdated conscience needs some upgrading, needs some new tools, needs some new technology, needs some new understanding, needs new concepts. Again, it's a new world. Stepping into a new era with new concepts, new blueprints, new structures that we're going to build upon. And it's not going to be built upon ignorance. It can't be. Like the brother asked me an ignorant question. Not understanding the basic of humanity. See, in our salat, as Muslims, when we pray, men are leading the prayer. Men are leading the prayer. We are responsible creatures. That is wisdom in God letting us know whatever problems that come upon this earth, we should be the first ones forefront of it. And we should be protecting our women and kids and not allowing nobody to reach them. But we got a brother saying that, oh, we the women need to be taking the money. Khalas, cool. That's what you think, cool. But watch how your life, unfolds. Right? That's how you want it. Go ahead. But watch how your life unfolds. And how we Muslims, the ones that are doing it correctly, unfold as well. In truth, you'll see it. It unveils. It unveils, man. People are not the enemy. The corrupt ideas are. So that's what I'm going to say. Peace out.